Good idea.
And this is the Walking Dead cast episode 242.
242.
Okay.
Yeah, then it's just like, except it's going to sound weird if then Duncan starts talking.
That's even better.
I'm Jason. I'm Karen. And this is episode 242.
And this is Duncan.
This is Duncan.
So, first, before we get started, not a big intro today, but I wanted to mention that our first and possibly only Walking Dead cast live presentation is coming up in 3 short weeks here in San Francisco.
Can't wait.
What do you think it's going to be like?
I think it's going to be awesome is what it's going to be. We're going to do our thing. We're going to record our stuff. We're going to have drinks with friends. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that before, probably, but there's a couple bars around there, so we'll definitely go have a drink afterwards with whoever wants to come.
Or maybe during.
Well, I'm definitely going to have one during. I'll have some Trumer up there. All right,
Nice.
So if you want to be a part of that, go to deadcastlive.com and you can find tickets and information there. And also, I want to wish a happy birthday today as we're recording this, so it'll be yesterday by the time she hears it, but to Cindy.
Petey Sanderson.
To Petey Sanderson.
Petey Sanderson.
She'll be 57, I believe. Happy 57.
She will not.
I know.
It's going to be like 22 or something.
Be happy to hear that. All right.
Happy birthday, Petey.
Let's get into it.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right. It's Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's our top 5 highlights for Season 7, Episode 5, Go Getters.
Go Getters.
Why is it called Go Getters?
Because they're all just a bunch of go-getters. That's why. Because Simon referred to the folks at Alexandria as a bunch of go-getters. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So sweet.
I wouldn't want to get that compliment from him, but it just means that they're basically toadies and they're doing whatever they say. So that's one side of it. But I think the other side is that Maggie, she's a go-getter this whole episode.
She is.
She's just doing what needs to be done, taking care of business. And then Carl is going to go get Negan. He's a go-getter. So is Jesus. So I think maybe that's why. But anyway, what did you think? What did you think of the episode?
You know, it's funny. When I first saw it, I thought, wow, this is kind of similar to last week's episode. But then I watched it again. I liked it more on the second viewing. In some ways, it felt a little bit like last week's episode too, in that the folks from the sanctuary came and sort of, bullied their way around the episode. But in other ways, there was a lot to really enjoy. So there's some forward momentum happening. And we had our first mixed episode of other groups coming together. Not a lot, but some. I mean, the first in a long, long
because
time.
Carl
so
was in it
neat.
and Hilltop too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Rick and
Michonne. So there was a lot of stuff to like.
Yeah, I've felt that this season is going to be a lot about tyranny and oppression, but you can't repeat that. You have to. I mean, basically, the story is Negan's people are totally dominating everybody. But if you just had like last week was the domination of Alexandria, and that's pretty much all it was. That was it. We're just going to see what it's like for Alexandria now in this new reality. And this could have been just the domination of Hilltop, but I think it wasn't. That's not really what it was about. That's a part of the story now for a little while, but it wasn't like the whole focus, I guess.
There was a lot of other things going on,
like
and there was some fight going on too, which was nice.
Yeah,
so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I thought the episode, it had some good moments, but I don't know. There were also some moments that weren't so great, so it was a bit uneven. But it just also didn't feel like it held together that well, or maybe the tone was kind of dour through a lot of it, and the parts that were supposed to be uplifting for me, I think at least some of them were the parts that didn't quite work. So I came away from it, even though I liked it individually, and I'll talk about what I liked. just not think it was one of the better episodes. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I just, I didn't love it. So I'd give it like, I don't know, 3.5 or something like that.
Freakily enough, we kind of agree.
Yeah. We mostly have agreed, I would say, in the history of this podcast, which is really boring.
What? Sorry, I nodded off there.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the top 5. Okay.
You want to go first?
No.
Okay.
I've been talking too much.
Fine. I'm going to go first. All right. My number 5 is women. And let's face it, a boy, Carl, are getting their fight on. And maybe I kind of cheated because maybe this was the thing I liked best about the episode, but I'm going to just say it. I thought it was great to see these fierce women. And by women, I'm talking about, first and foremost, Maggie, who even on doctor-ordered bed rest was right there leading...
Commandeering a track.
Leading the monster truck rally. It was so awesome. And then punching Gregory in his stupid mug. I love that. I love that, by the way, this was the second car that she had flattened by her own admission. The first one was a boy at school, and his car was a Camaro until it wasn't. It was so great.
I know. I love that.
Sasha, also unbelievably great fighter at Hilltop. And she's also, she's there fighting for Maggie and telling Maggie that she will, be with her and take care of her. She's fabulous. And also getting Jesus to find out where Negan lives. I mean, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, you're right. So I didn't think about this, but Sasha had been very, after Tyrese died, she was in bad shape, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
She couldn't hang out at the cocktail party and everything. And she was getting really dark. And now she's just the person you'd most want to have as a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got her act together.
She really, really does. And one thing that I loved was at the end when she was sharpening her knife, I think, and smoking Abraham's cigar, which was fabulous. I
didn't notice that.
Yeah, she was smoking
That's
the cigar that was in his pocket, and she was
because that was the only thing he had.
Yeah, right. She was sharpening her knife, and I was wondering if it was the same knife that we saw her use earlier to eat an apple outside of Maggie's door. She was eating an apple or some piece of fruit. And I'm thinking, wow, you're stabbing zombies with that knife, and then you're using it to, eat a piece of fruit.
She wiped it off.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
I'm also going to quickly mention Michonne with her katana. She's totally ready to fight. You can just tell.
Yeah.
Rosita, she, in the last episode, she's gathering up her guns, and she looks ready to fight. Enid, okay, so maybe not fighting, but at least
supporting.
She wanted to go out and see what had become of Maggie, make sure she's okay. And then in the meantime, you have compare and contrast. You have Rick and Gregory, who are all about kneeling down to Negan and substitute Negan. So I guess Simon. And so both of them are all about, where, how exactly should I kneel? Where do you want me to kneel? And it's just so great to see the women like, no, we're doing this, man. We're going to fight. And I also have to, shout out to Jesus, who helped in the zombie fight, and he was wonderful. But it was sort of interesting because nobody else in the Hilltop seemed ready to step in when the car music went off and the gates were opened. They all looked like deer in the headlights. And I think not even the guys that Maggie had ordered to shut the gate, they didn't even... I don't think they're the ones who actually shut the gate. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see them jump to it. They
said they were going to.
Yeah, they might have just gone inside.
Why are the people we know the only ones out there? Hilltop seems a little light on people.
It does.
And I think,
it does.
It's more of a TV show logistics thing. I think you're supposed to feel like there's more people there, but it was sort of like, well, where's all the Hilltoppers here?
Yeah, right. Right. I think the guys went inside to maybe get a stiff drink first, and by the time they were done getting their shot of whiskey, it was all over. That's my guess.
It was a great episode for women, and they took charge, and that was awesome. And Carl, I always think it's cool that kid Chandler Riggs wanted to have long hair, and that's why Carl has long hair.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's sort of getting to a point where it's like, dude, I think you kind of need a haircut here.
No, it's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful hair ever.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I want his hair so bad.
It's like he put a lot of that shampoo that gives it extra body in it.
Mane and tail.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when I was in college and we were out playing volleyball, and this was in the 90s. I don't think this is still totally the thing, but in the late 90s, when you had guys would have their pants kind of pulled down a little bit so you could see their underwear. And that was the style, and there were these two guys playing volleyball, and one of them, his pants got so far down that they were like halfway down his crack, and the other guy just looked at him and goes, "Dude, pull your pants up." And that's kind of what I felt like with Carl. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Oh, come on, Carl.
Pull your hair up, would you?
It's a little bit much. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but it is interesting that it's all the women plus the two men who kind of look like women.
Right, because they're doing it right. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm totally kidding about all that, and I do actually think it was great that this was all about the ladies.
It kind of was. It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my number 5 is specifically about the lead lady, Maggie, who I think really has undergone a transformation in the show. It's been happening slowly, but I think she really turned a corner this episode.
Yep.
I think Lauren Cohan was really good in it, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Maggie, she used to be kind of a softer person and a little more kind of curious, and she's harder now. When she's more serious, she's more focused.
Yep.
And she's been through a hell of a lot, but she feels like a person who has a lot of clarity, even when that just means, like she said to Sasha, about Gregory, we'll sleep on it and we'll have more clarity in the morning. She just seemed really certain that we're going to need to do something about this. We're going to need to figure it out. We're not going to be figuring it out right now, but we will very soon. That's kind of what it felt like, right?
Yep.
So she's got it all under control. And she was the one who, that was the whole point of the episode, I think, to give them a problem and have her solve it. So she's the one who got out there and got that tractor going and was ordering everybody around and to close the gates and punched Gregory in the face.
Yes. Right. And can we break that down for just a sec? Because it was such an amazing, amazing moment. And when Gregory says, see, dear, saviors can actually be quite reasonable. And this is right after he tried to rat Maggie and Sasha out. And Maggie spots Glenn's watch. And I just love that she just punches him right in that stupid face. Mm-hmm. And it was so
He didn't
great.
do much about it either.
No. Yeah, and I love that she says, this is our home now, so you'll learn to start calling me by my name. I'm not Marcia, not dear, not honey, Maggie Ree. It was so great. Mm-hmm. Bitch.
And she gave the prayer at the end.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what that prayer is? That prayer, I want to mention real fast because I thought it was so really beautiful. That's when the three of them hold hands around the table. And it's Ralph Waldo Emerson's "We Thank Thee." And it goes, and by the way, I'm going to commit this to memory and say it at Thanksgiving because I think it really is good. It says, for this new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything that goodness sends. Amen. And wow, Ralph Waldo Emerson. That was a beautiful moment too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Tell me one thing you're genuinely thankful for.
I'm thankful for all those things, for love and health and food and friends and my family.
Yeah.
I just named like 6.
Yeah, that's okay.
How about you?
This new audio interface I'm looking at. Totally awesome. The comfort of my home. Mm-hmm. My little son and my upcoming son coming in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. thankful for that.
Yep. We've got good families, good friends.
Yeah. So back to Maggie. So Jesus said that blue flowers inspired strength and calm, and that's what she projected throughout this whole episode.
Yeah.
And then he said green is release, and I like that. Right when he said that, she kind of let go a little bit. Kind of a sob came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lovely moment.
And I was thinking, so what motivated all this? She just lost Glenn, but I think the thing that's totally crucial to all of this, that it would be completely different if this didn't happen, was that she did not lose the baby.
Right.
She didn't lose little Glenn.
Yep.
Like when Sasha said, it feels like everything is wrong, she said, not everything.
Yeah.
And I think being pregnant, if not for that, she might just be suicidal. But now she's like, okay, I'm going to make the most of this world, and I'm going to shape it the way that I want it to be.
Good for her.
For my kid. Lauren Cohan, she's been in a couple movies lately. She's one of the ones that I sometimes wonder if she might get restless and want to leave the show and go do movies.
Right.
But I wonder if this storyline, I bet it would be a motivation for her to stick around, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah. If it happens that she does take charge, which, it looks like that's where this is going.
Yeah, that's kind of what Jesus was not very subtly hinting at, right?
Yes, exactly.
Side-eye glances and stuff. So yeah, if that happens, you'll be happy.
I will. And I think that would be an amazing thing for her, the actress. That's a pretty cool challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, it changed her character. That makes sense based on what's happening. So that's cool. All right, that's my number 5. What's your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is the scene with the AMC gremlin. By the way, get that? AMC? I mean, I don't know if that's really why they picked a gremlin, but since the AMC network and it's an AMC gremlin, that's what I thought personally. Anyway, I love that whole scene with blaring music and the gate is open and the zombies come marching one by one. So great. Apparently they like
that would be good if that was the music.
They like classical music, evidently. It was such a fun little scene. It was weird because it felt
they're not picky.
No, they will come towards pretty much anything.
Oh, rap,
horn?
metal,
yeah. You can blare your horn,
right? Just some horn.
Noise. So I loved it. I love the armored windows that apparently the sanctuary. Although it's funny. I guess it's the Saviors that did this, but it wasn't 100% clear.
Well, did Simon just take credit for it? Because he did.
He did seem kind of confused. Like, what?
And I was confused because he seemed confused. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I think it was them, but it's hard to tell for sure.
And I loved the monster tractor rally.
It seemed like them because you mentioned the metal grate over the windows, but then also the finger kind of
the back.
Yeah, keeping it closed. That was I love that.
Yes, I love that too.
It was like, oh, damn it.
And it kind of looked like they confirmed it later, but then it made me think, well, where were the guards? Where are the guards of the Hilltop community? How did they just waltz right in?
They went away back home for Thanksgiving.
It's what happens on long weekends. It's easier to break into compounds. Yeah. Yeah, and it was also strange why Maggie and Sasha were locked into their house. That was kind of weird too.
Oh yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah, what is up with that? I mean, some kind of protection from Gregory, maybe?
And then, strange. But then you saw Jesus slide down a banister, and that's because, theoretically, it's because he couldn't get out the door.
The hatches are battened down. I don't know.
Maybe they locked all the doors before, they sort of quietly locked all the doors, and then they set up the gremlin, and then opened the gates and blared the music. I don't know. Weird.
There's something we missed, and I don't think we should dwell on it because it just showcases our ignorance. I'm just kidding. But listeners,
I think this whole podcast showcases our ignorance, personally.
If you know what was going on there. Yeah, that was my number 4 too, the tractor scene. I liked it. I don't know. I guess because this episode was sort of uneven, I'm like, do I like this? But I do, especially when the tractor started running over the zombies.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
this is kind of awesome.
Yes. New way to kill zombies. Just when you think you've seen everything,
Yeah.
there's a monster tractor running over zombies.
Exactly.
And it was pretty great. They gave a satisfying smush. It was weird because it seemed like the tractor looked smaller than larger than smaller and then larger again. And I know that was just like tricks of perspective, but at first I thought, well, it's a normal size tractor. And then I'm like, oh my God, the wheels are huge. It seemed to change size, but maybe that was just me.
It's like hobbits.
Yeah, exactly.
So I saw that some listeners were saying, or at least one person was saying, that they didn't believe the tractor would do that. So I just looked it up, tractor smashing cars, and this YouTube video came up with all these police cars smashed by a tractor. So apparently it is actually possible to smash a car with a tractor like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then
that was and they had a little thing on The Talking Dead about how they did that scene. That was an actual gremlin. They had taken out some of the innards, but basically that was the shell of a gremlin that they really did smash.
And Maggie and Lauren Cohan actually got pregnant and then drove it. Just kidding.
She's very method.
Yeah. By Stephen Young. No. So the classical music was by Sibelius. It's called Finlandia. It's a tone poem used to bolster Finland's pride in the 1800s when the country was under Russia's authority. So it's sort of apropos. And I think either Negan's guys didn't know that, or more likely they just have a sadistic sense of humor, which I think is actually kind of cool. Let's play this song of the oppressed as we oppress you. I thought also that it was cool to watch Jesus and Sasha in action during that scene, especially when Jesus had his occasional kung fu kick.
Yes.
Kung fu fighting the zombies.
I also like that Sasha nearly brained him, but he was like, "Oh wait."
I mean that would in the ZA that would have to happen occasionally.
Oh yes.
Because your first instinct is to just stab to the head.
Yes,
Go for the
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
People,
shit, sorry.
Sorry.
Don't sneak up on people.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's true. You would really need to have a very concerted effort not to ever sneak up on anybody anymore.
Oh, yeah. You want to like put bells on people.
That game when you go up and say boo, that would not be funny anymore.
No, because you're just asking to be katanaed.
Yeah, especially don't do it to Michonne. Okay,
right.
Now it's time for your number 3.
Yeah, exactly. Not dead yet. Okay. I have, along with all of these compliments, I do have 2 criticisms, but they're really not, well, one's criticism, one's more like, help me understand this scene. So the first one is, the sanctuary guys are still kind of driving me nuts. The giant clown trucks where 1 million of these guys jump out and they all kind of stand around and look kind of like brutes. And then Simon is sort of a Negan, you know, he smiles and he's got big shiny white teeth and he's menacing and cartoony and but under, you know, he just seems like a big jerk. So that's my one smaller criticism. My other, it's not really criticism, it's more like I didn't quite understand it. The Carl and Enid stuff, it was sort of a little puzzling. So what I didn't understand is Enid is on the bike and she comes across a zombie. She looks scared and acts helpless. And I'm thinking, no, Enid, you're on a bike. You're really, actually, and you're a very powerful, we've seen her dispatch zombies before with no trouble. So she sort of freaks out when she sees blood on the road and there's a zombie lurching for her slowly. And then all of a sudden, Carl to the rescue. Bad driver, Carl, also pretty bad at darts. And he, gets that zombie and then gets the other zombie and then okay, that's weird. And then they start walking. He tells her, by the way, I was just out for a drive. And apparently she bought that. Of course he's not out for a drive. Of course he's following you, dummy. So then they start walking and I think, you've got not a perfectly good car, a smashed up car. Looks like you can keep driving. I mean, the roll down windows still worked. And you've got a bicycle. And yet you've chosen to keep walking, even though it's pretty clear that that she can't, that Enid can't really take care of herself all that well. It's sort of strange. So they ditch the car, ditch the bicycle. They're walking, and then they find roller skates, so they start roller skating. Also, not very well. Then they get to the Saviors, and then I assume they're not still on roller skates when they're kissing in sight of the Saviors. And I'm thinking, stop that, children. I mean, kiss, get it on, yay, but not when the Saviors are right there next to you. And yeah, I had a lot of questions about that. Can you help me? Why would they leave a perfectly good car and bicycle in the back?
Yeah, can you just quickly, like, each one of those points, go back and just remind me that, like, what was the first one you said?
Because I kept talking.
No, it's okay. But I think I'm mostly going to agree with you, but I just want to weigh in on, because my number 3 is actually Carl and Enid too, so I can just do it this way. So what was the first one?
I like it. So Enid being helpless in the face of a zombie.
That is really stupid. Next. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it was but I think the whole point was, we need to manufacture this scene where Carl comes to Negan's rescue. It can't be a whole bunch of zombies, because how's he going to help with that? So it's just going to have to be one. And yeah, let's ramp up the music and make it seem like Enid's afraid. And I just thought, it's just another one of those cases where it's really hard to keep finding new ways to make zombies feel threatening, especially to people who have a lot of experience dealing with them. We already know Enid's one of the ones, she kept leaving Alexandria, and she kind of knows how to get around. So I thought that was pretty weak.
Yeah. And why leave the car and the bike behind?
Well, I think he smashed up the car. He rammed it into the pole.
It seemed like it was still drivable.
That's what I thought, because otherwise I thought they would be driving it if he didn't. Because they did make a point to show that it smashed into that thing, but I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to tell for sure.
But the bicycle. One of the best tools in the zombie apocalypse. Enid had the bike. She was riding the bike.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because both of them couldn't be on the bike.
Have they not seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
That would have been pretty funny if that could have been a scene instead of the skating, just to have her riding on the handlebars or something.
Yes, exactly. Or riding him on the handlebars. I mean, it's adorable. That could have been adorable.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm skeptical, because the skating I thought was a great idea, but it just didn't totally work the way I think they wanted it to, which was to have it be a moment of lightness between them. And I wonder why. I think it might be partly because of the music, which I thought was really interesting and enjoyable, but I don't know if it was evoking the right mood. I think it could have been. It was kind of weird. Techno-y.
Yeah.
Anyway, that scene. But what was the next one?
Well, pretty much that's about it. It seemed kind of, and she didn't believe him, or she believed him when he said, I was just out for a drive.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking,
so
you weren't.
Yeah, because he said, I was just out for a drive, and that was very obviously a quip, right? And so when she said, you weren't out taking a drive, you were coming to get me, it's like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Then I wondered if maybe she said, you weren't coming to get me, like, because she said that right when he was looking and saying, oh, Negan's not here, his big black truck isn't here. And then it was clear that he was really there to try and find Negan. And so maybe she was saying, you weren't taking a drive and you weren't coming to get me. I think that might be what it was. Which makes a little more sense, right? Where she realizes, not only were you not taking a drive, but you also weren't coming to get me. You were just trying to find Negan. So that might be what that was. I'm not sure. But it really did sound like she was saying you were coming to get me. So I don't know. And then the kiss, I thought the kiss was nice. The
kiss was sweet.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was a little like awkward, but they're teenagers. And
hey, that's... I'm telling you, there's not that many teenagers left in the world. I'm pro snogging, but I'm anti snogging in sight of the Saviors.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. But I'm just saying, that you might have a point there. I just think that some people didn't like the kiss, but I thought it was okay.
No, the kiss was sweet. Oh my God.
And they're there with their foreheads against each other. I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of girls will hate Enid even more now. Because Chandler Riggs, he's very
teen
well
idol.
loved. Yeah. He's like the fifth Beatle.
And by the way, that wasn't the only sweet kiss in the episode. There was another sweet kiss between Rick and Michonne.
That was really
and that was
great.
nice.
Yeah.
He tries to just give her a quick peck on the cheek, and she's like, "No, baby, we're kissing."
Yeah,
that was nice.
Because he's feeling ashamed and just sort of preoccupied, and
he's down.
Yeah, and she's like, I want to really give you a good kiss here and be connected and show you that I'm still with you and be present supportive. In the moment together. Yeah.
Yep.
And
that was nice.
I thought that was really nice. And it just makes me realize more and more that there was just something about the way that initial scene with them was staged that made me not like it, because now I think they seem totally natural together. So and that's good. So also things I did like about Carl and Enid, aside from the kiss, I liked when she said, he goes, "You're walking to the hilltop, it's far." She's like, "I'll be fine, I have better aim than you." I'm like, man, that's a low blow. But it was funny. And then she said, "I didn't mean it that way, but..."
What other way could she have meant it?
Yeah. Then the other thing I liked is I love that Jesus and Carl are in the back of that truck going to Negan's.
Yes.
And that Carl wants to go kill him. I think that's actually a great storyline for Carl.
Yes. I completely agree. Completely agree.
And seeing Carl, he's kissing a girl. He's going off to try and kill the guy that killed his friends and fucked with his dad. It's really great to have been with him since he was just a little kid on this show.
Yes.
And now, this storyline makes sense for him because he's a teenager and he's becoming a man.
Yeah, but I don't know how he intends to pull this off. Fortunately,
right. I'm not saying it's smart.
he has MacGyver with him in the form of Jesus, and hopefully Jesus will keep him safe.
Yep, I'm sure that sentence has been spoken a lot of times before. All right.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Keep me safe. It's time for a little break. Let's talk about our first sponsor. That's Fracture.
Fracture. I love me a Fracture. They are a company that prints your photos in vivid color directly onto glass. And they're so beautiful. They make your photos look amazing. And it's really easy to do it. It's the easiest thing ever. You don't even have to leave your house. It's affordable. It's incredibly beautiful. We have 5 of them in our house. I counted them up. And we have one of Venice, a picture that David took. We have one of a grapevine in Israel. We have one of New York, of the Highline Park. We have one of San Francisco, the waterfront, and we have one of a vineyard in St. Helena.
All over. So that's good. It's different places.
It's all the places we traveled, yeah.
You probably should leave your house to take the pictures, but then you don't have to leave your house. Or you can just have fractures of your house. Like you could take a picture of your refrigerator and stick it on your fridge.
On your fridge. And then you can have a picture of a fridge on your fridge. Yeah. Get very meta, people.
Right, because they have all different sizes, so you can get a big, giant one.
Yep.
And then get a slightly smaller one and stick it on there.
I like the ones where you've got where you get like little ones and you have a whole sort of theme of them going on. I think that's really neat. They make fantastic gifts. So
it is good. Yeah, because they're great if you just put a few along the wall. You can get different sizes and make them in a neat pattern, or just have all the same, 3 of the same size all together. And maybe it's your 3 children, or, different pictures of your family, or like Karen, you've done different places that you've been. It really, really is a beautiful way to decorate your house.
And it's super personal. And like I said, fantastic gifts. And their website has some really great style ideas. And their blog has a whole article on how to take better photos. I recommend reading that before Thanksgiving because you're probably going to want to take some pictures at Thanksgiving, and this tells you how to take better ones. It's a great website, and it's a terrific product. So go to fractureme.com/podcast and select the Walking Dead cast to let them know where you heard about them and get 10% off if it's your first order. That's fractureme.com/podcast and pick the Walking Dead cast. Thanks, Fracture.
Thank you, Fracture. Okay, what's your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2 is sort of along that same theme of the surprise ending. I love that now, I mean, we've been sort of keeping the same general theme of, okay, the saviors are in their bullying mode and nothing's happening to fight them. And now we see the first inkling of rebellion. And that is, we know that Jesus is in the truck and he samples the scotch and then pours the rest of it out as a big middle finger to Negan.
And by the way, I got a note from Lucy from Scotland who said she used to work at that factory where they make that. She did whiskey tours. She led whiskey tours.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Wow, that's awesome. Sorry he poured out the beautiful scotch.
It was good that he took a swig first, though. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that all of a sudden there's Carl saying, hey, and the look on Jesus's face was fantastic. So, yeah, Carl may be bad at driving, but is evidently good at sneaking onto trucks.
When he said, hey, I was like, oh, it's a savior. That's my first thought.
Me too. Me too. It was a great surprise. I loved it.
Okay. My number 2 is Gregory, who is a total sleaze and I mean, beyond belief. And I think he's doing well. Some people don't like the way he's acting it. I think the actor's doing well and he's really interesting. But the character is a little hard to believe for me because he's such a sleaze bag and he's not, I mean, he tries to be a little charming, offering preserves or rhubarb pie or whatever it was.
Yes.
But it doesn't work, you know. His sleaziness is just oozing forth for everyone to see. And he seems weak and it's just hard for me to believe that he would have risen to be the leader of that place.
Yeah.
And Jesus says something like, you know, when I got here, he was already the leader. I thought they chose him, but it seems like he just
assumed.
Became the leader. I forget what it was, but like it just happened. I think that's what he said. And I'm like, how did that happen? I don't know. What do you think? Like, is it believable?
That he would be the leader? Yeah. He's all full of hot air. He's very pompous and he sort of struts around that big house, and when it comes down to fighting, he has other people fight his fights for him. So yeah, it's totally believable. Yeah,
he doesn't inspire. Like, to me, you know, if you're going to be a leader, you need to motivate, and you do that either by being inspirational, like with hope, or you know, or something to strive for. Like, hey, let's build our society into this, you know, and or by fear. If you don't follow me, then you're going to be in big trouble because of all these dangers that are all around. And I don't see him necessarily doing either. He's just sort of blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. We'll see. But I still like the character in and of itself. I'm just not sure I believe. I mean, I love how sleazy he is. He calls everybody the wrong name. He calls Maggie Marcia, and he calls Rick Rich, and then later Reg.
He thinks Sasha is somebody who's already there. He thinks that she's
who is
one.
This?
Yeah. He's pretty sure she's, you know, just mind your own business and go back to what you were doing. And she's like, what? Come on. Man.
The thing I was thinking too is I if I was the leader, I would probably be forgetting people's names too, because I'm really bad at that. He took Glenn's watch off of his grave.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful.
Also, though, you know, him wanting to get Sasha and Maggie out of there, I don't think it's very noble, but I also don't totally blame him, because he's right that if the saviors find them there, it's going to be trouble, and for his people that he's supposed to be protecting. And So, probably the solution is to just hide him really good. But I don't blame him for wanting to do something. But then, I thought, oh, he's going to give him up. And then it ends up being the scotch. And I love that scene so much because you can see how hard it was to give that up.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I could, like, he didn't even want to give the one bottle up, and then it ended up being the whole case. It's like,
fuck. Come on. And to Simon, who said that it tastes like, what was it? Windex and bathwater or something like that.
He doesn't even appreciate it.
No, he sure doesn't.
And I was worried he was even going to just like break the whole case of scotch, like they burn up those mattresses. But he wanted to take it back to Negan for brownie points. So then I'm like, okay, cool. At least Gregory's not such a sleazebag that he's going to give these women up. And then it turns out he was actually trying to do that. And I thought, yes. Well, would that be a good idea? Because I think he wants to like not show that they have any association with Rick's people. And so how is he going to explain that they're there? And much less they will talk themselves.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was actually it was a good thing for him that they weren't there, because it would have been bad for Hilltop.
Agreed. And it's a good thing that there was scotch in there. What if he opened up the closet and there was nothing? Then you look like a jackass.
Yeah.
Right. Here, I've got this really special coat hanger for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like Simon. One reason why I like him probably is I'm a little predisposed because the actor plays this great psycho character in Grand Theft Auto 5 that's totally awesome. And I just like Stephen Ogg. And he's also in Westworld. He has like a bit part in Westworld.
Does he really?
Yeah. What does he play? See, I still need to get caught up on that show. But
we just watched last week's. It was amazing. You haven't seen it? You haven't seen it? Oh,
I'm like
really
4
good.
Episodes behind.
So it's really, really good.
But he, I think he was only in the first 2 episodes. He was like one of the cowpokes or something.
Okay.
So I love him. All right. What's your number one?
That was actually Gregory trying to rat out Maggie and Sasha. That was my number one because it was such a great scene and it was so tense. I knew that they weren't in that closet. But it was going to be funny to see how he was going to handle it. And it was great that it was his bottles of scotch.
That he had to give up immediately. I mean, he could, you see the scotch there, that's pretty much going to have to be it. You can't pick anything else out of the closet and give it to him.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know what? No, that's you don't want that scotch. Here, have this mop.
Windex. Okay, my number one is Remembrances. This show is there's always the ghosts of people hanging around, and just seeing Maggie, I was feeling sad about Glenn being gone.
Aww.
I never fully, like, I don't know, that's going to be hitting me for a long time. And I even had this thought, like, why couldn't it, did it have to be Glenn? Why couldn't it have been Maggie? Which is horrible, I know, but
you are a bad person.
If it had to be one person, I mean, she's pregnant also. I know, but I just like, Glenn's my favorite.
I know,
and
he was my favorite too.
So now Herschel's watch is there, and that's extra hard for Maggie because it's her dad's and her ex-husband's, or her husband's.
Fun fact, on The Talking Dead, they said that the watch has changed hands after Herschel 7 times. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
I have the order. So after Herschel gave it to Glenn. Glenn lost it to the Terminus dude, Alex, in Terminus. Rick got it back. Sasha had it. Then Maggie. Then Gregory got it off the grave. And then Maggie got it back and gave it to Enid. That is a traveling watch, my friend.
I wonder, I bet you it'll stick around for the rest of the series.
I hope so. I hope it becomes a thing because it's been around for a long, long time, yeah.
And don't forget, it was up Herschel's ass for 30 years before that.
Right, exactly.
So, what else? Maggie had said of that picture of Glenn, was it? I won't need this to remember you by, or maybe it was of the both of them.
It's a picture of her. He took a picture of her sleeping, so it's a good thing she doesn't still have it.
Yes. And she said, I won't need this to remember you by. And now they're talking about in Hilltop, they burn their dead because they don't need anything to remember them by. they remember them by the people who are left, which I think is sort of a play on the old Walking Dead theme of honoring the dead by carrying on their spirit. Rick talked about that when Dale died. How we honor him is, we keep our humanity. Well, he didn't stick with that very long, but still, you get the idea. So I think that's why she gave the watch to Enid. She's just like, I'm going to remember Glenn because I don't need that. He's just with me all the time, and I'm going to make him proud. And also, she's got another thing to remember him by, her little baby.
Though, it would have been nice if she kept the watch to give to the baby, because that's a watch that, was her dad's, and it was also the baby's father's. And wouldn't the baby have liked that? Just saying.
I kind of think so too, actually. Yeah. I mean, there was another thing about green being a sign of release.
Yes.
So that might have had something to do with letting it go. And she was looking at the green balloons, and her last name is Green. It's all connected somehow.
Thanks for tying that all together.
And then I was just thinking about how many people these women have survived. Sasha survived Tyrese, Bob, and now Abraham, and probably others. And Maggie has survived Herschel, Beth, and her whole family, her mom, and I think she had brothers.
Yep.
And Glenn.
Her whole big community. Yeah.
Farmer clan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was my number one. Do you have any notes?
I do. I have a couple notes. This was a weird one. I read today that the name of the doctor, I didn't catch this before, but the name of the doctor at the Hilltop is Dr. Carson.
Yeah.
The name of the doctor at the sanctuary is Dr. Carson.
Yep. So
what is up with that?
So Dr. Carson is at Hilltop is Harlan Carson. And his brother is Emmett. And that's the doctor at Savior.
They're brothers!
What I'm guessing is when Simon or Negan came over to Hilltop to take half, one of those doctors was part of that.
Were they conjoined?
Yeah. chop them in half and take one.
They're brothers. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did we know that from the show, or do you know that from the comic?
I know that from the Walking Dead TV show Wikipedia, so I don't know if that's been made explicit in the show now that you mention it. I assumed it had since it was on the wiki.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure.
That was my only note.
Okay, a couple of things for me. The first scene, Maggie opened her eyes and saw flowers. I thought that was sort of reminiscent of Rick coming out of his coma. Except, Shane had left flowers and they were all old.
By the way, did you notice her eyes are green?
No.
They're green, and they were very, very green. She opened her eyes. I'm like, wow, she has very pretty green eyes.
She's really pretty. The last thing that Lauren Cohan said to me was, it's pronounced Alana, because I was pronouncing Alana's name Elena during a panel. I felt so bad. Like, oh, Lauren Cohan hates me now.
Lauren Cohan really hates you, but she has very pretty green eyes.
That's right. And I could see that as she was admonishing me. I was just staring into those eyes.
Those eyes filled with scorn.
She said it pretty nicely, but anyway.
Oh, that's funny.
So the thing that she had was abruptio placentae, which is the separation of placenta from the uterus.
Ouch.
And it's if the fetus is less than 36 weeks old when this happens, then basically you just have to rest and be monitored until either a change in your condition or you give birth. And it says approximately 12% of fetuses affected by this die. And without any form of medical intervention, then